Hello, everyone. It's 5 o'clock on the East Coast.
And I thought, oh my gosh, okay, go to live in New York for 5 weeks in the middle of the summer?
Dana Perino once took a microphone stand to the face while serving as White House press secretary. But that's just one of the many surprising moments in her extraordinary career. From growing up on a ranch in Wyoming to becoming one of the most recognizable faces on Fox News, Perino's journey has been anything but ordinary. She's broken barriers, mentored countless young women, and even secretly eloped in England. But beyond the polished TV persona lies a fascinating story filled with unexpected twists, hard-fought victories, and personal sacrifices. This is the untold truth of Dana Perino. Dana Perino's early life was shaped by the landscapes and values of both Wyoming and Colorado. Born in Wyoming, she moved with her family to Colorado when she was just 2 years old. However, Wyoming never faded from her life. It remained a deeply significant place where she spent her summers on her grandfather's ranch. This experience left a lasting impression on her, instilling a strong work ethic, resilience, and an optimistic outlook, traits that would later define her career in journalism and politics. Her grandfather, a hard-working rancher, played a pivotal role in shaping Perino's character. She has often credited him with teaching her the importance of optimism, a quality essential to the ranching life. Ranchers, by their nature, have to be optimistic. They have to believe that the cattle will survive the winter and that the crops are going to grow. So I think I have a sunny disposition naturally, Perino shared in an interview with Business Insider. This outlook became a guiding principle in her career, leading her to always seek the good news, even in the face of challenging situations. But her grandfather wasn't the only strong influence in her life. Perino's father, Leo Perino, played a crucial role in developing her critical thinking and passion for journalism. He instilled in her a habit of reading newspapers daily, a routine that became a cornerstone of her intellectual growth. Each evening before he returned home from work, she would read 2 newspapers, preparing to engage in discussions with him over dinner. He would challenge her perspectives by playing the devil's advocate, ensuring that she saw multiple sides of every issue. I tried to develop the idea that there are always 2 sides to each story, he later told Newsmax. This practice sharpened Perino's analytical skills and prepared her for a career in media and politics, where understanding different viewpoints is essential. Growing up on a ranch, Dana Perino developed a strong work ethic early in life. The values of perseverance, responsibility, and discipline that she learned as a child remained with her as she built an impressive career in journalism and politics. Becoming the White House press secretary was not something that happened overnight. Rather, it was the result of years of experience across multiple fields, where she combined her love of political communications and journalism. Today, she continues to apply that expertise as a Fox News correspondent, drawing from both worlds to provide insight and analysis on current events. Before stepping into the national spotlight, Perino laid the groundwork for her career by earning a master's degree in public affairs from the University of Illinois Springfield. Her early professional experiences were diverse, ranging from working for politicians to reporting for local news stations and serving at the Justice Department. She took on complex communications roles that others often avoided, handling issues such as murder trials, tax policy, and environmental concerns. This willingness to take on difficult tasks set her apart. One of my pieces of advice is take the jobs nobody else wants to do, Perino shared on Business Insider's Success, How I Did It podcast in 2017, emphasizing that she found fulfillment in working behind the scenes. Her path to the White House began in 2001 when she joined the Bush administration in various roles before becoming the White House press secretary. This experience not only cemented her reputation as a skilled communicator, but also gave her first-hand knowledge of the inner workings of government. But Perino didn't stop there. After her time at the White House, she expanded her career by becoming an author, a television anchor, and a commentator, using her expertise to educate and inform the public. In addition to her work in media and politics, Perino briefly took on another role: college professor. In 2010, she taught a course in political communications at George Washington University's Graduate School of Political Management. This opportunity allowed her to share her wealth of experience with students, merging her passion for politics, media, and education. Whether in the White House, on television, or in the classroom, Perino has consistently demonstrated a commitment to thoughtful communication, hard work, and lifelong learning. Dana Perino made history when she was appointed as the White House press secretary in 2007, becoming not only the second woman to hold the position, but also the first Republican woman to do so. This milestone in her career came under unexpected and difficult circumstances. Her predecessor, Tony Snow, was diagnosed with terminal cancer and had to step down. At the time, Perino had been serving as deputy press secretary, a demanding role that had already taken a toll on her, leading her to consider leaving the White House altogether. However, when the director of communications, Ed Gillespie, offered her the promotion, she accepted, stepping into one of the most high-profile and high-pressure positions in government. For the next 2 years, Perino served as the chief spokesperson for President George W. Bush's administration, navigating intense media scrutiny, political turbulence, and global crises. Her role required her to remain composed under pressure, deliver clear and accurate messages, and maintain the administration's public image. While she handled the job with professionalism and skill, the relentless demands of the position came at a personal cost. She later admitted that the stress of the role had long-term effects on her well-being, revealing that she experienced a persistent ringing in her ear for nearly 2 years after leaving the position. Reflecting on her time as press secretary, Perino shared with Business Insider's Success. How I Did It podcast that one of her biggest regrets was neglecting her health during those years. Everything just sort of took a toll, she admitted. And it was one of the things I wish I had done better and that I encourage young people to do because people are stressed out all the time. She emphasized the importance of self-care, recognizing that while Americans are ambitious and hardworking, success should not come at the expense of personal well-being. The only thing that you can do for sure that you are responsible for is taking care of yourself, she advised. Dana Perino's role as White House press secretary was not only stressful, but also, at times, dangerous. One of the most dramatic moments of her tenure came in 2008 when she was unexpectedly injured during a press conference in Baghdad. The incident occurred when an Iraqi journalist, Muntadar al-Zaidi, threw his shoes at then-President George W. Bush in an act of protest while Bush stood alongside Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. As chaos erupted in the room, the Secret Service immediately sprang into action to protect the president. In the commotion, one agent lunged forward, accidentally knocking into a microphone stand. The stand then swung around and struck Perino directly in the eye, leaving her with a painful and visible bruise. Speaking to NPR about the incident, Perino recalled the sharp impact, saying it was extremely painful and even brought her to tears. However, President Bush, unaware of her injury at the time, mistakenly thought she was crying in response to the shoe attack itself. She quickly reassured him with a bit of humor and toughness, telling him, "Well, sir, I adore you, but I grew up in Wyoming and I'm a little tougher than that." Though the injury was unintended, it left Perino with a noticeable bruise for the final weeks of her tenure as press secretary. Despite the discomfort, she continued fulfilling her duties, demonstrating the same resilience and composure that had defined her time in the role. Fortunately, this was the only physical incident she encountered during her service in the White House, but it served as a reminder that the job carried risks beyond the immense mental and emotional pressure. Dana Perino recognizes that her professional experiences in politics, communications, and media are unique, and she has made it her mission to share the wisdom she's gained with others, particularly young women looking to advance in their careers. Throughout her journey, she has benefited from the guidance of strong mentors, and now she strives to offer the same support to the next generation of female leaders. Mentorship is a core part of Perino's professional philosophy, and she often draws from the lessons instilled in her by her grandfather when advising young women. Speaking to CBS News in 2021, she explained that his wisdom continues to guide both her life and her mentorship efforts. As I mentor young women in their careers and life choices, I return to my grandfather's wisdom, she said, sharing a few key principles she passes on. Respect your commitments, speak gently, and treat others with love. These values, which helped shape her own career, now serve as the foundation for the advice she gives to others. Recognizing that many ambitious young professionals struggle to find accessible mentors, Perino took her commitment to guidance a step further by co-founding Minute Mentoring. The program is specifically designed for young women who, due to their demanding schedules, may not have the time or connections to seek out career advice and role models. At the same time, Perino understood that experienced professionals who want to help don't always have the capacity for long-term, traditional mentoring relationships. With this in mind, Minute Mentoring was created as a flexible, efficient solution, allowing busy mentors and mentees to engage in impactful, time-conscious mentoring sessions. Through this initiative, Perino has been able to extend her influence beyond the newsroom and political sphere, directly supporting the professional and personal growth of young women. Her dedication to mentorship reflects not only her appreciation for the guidance she received in her own career, but also her commitment to ensuring that the next generation of leaders has the support they need to succeed. Dana Perino has always been passionate about mentoring, and when she realized that time constraints limited her ability to personally guide as many young women as she wanted, she found another way to share her insights: with a book. In 2021, she authored Everything Will Be Okay: Life Lessons for Young Women from a Former Young Woman, a best-selling guide packed with career and life advice drawn from her decades of experience in politics, media, and communications. Perino had long been encouraged to write another book, especially by young women who sought her wisdom but didn't always have direct access to her mentorship. In an interview with HolyCityCenter.com, she explained that their requests became the driving force behind her second book. "I've had a lot of young women over the years come up to me and say, 'When are you going to write another book?'" she shared. Knowing that not everyone could participate in her Minute Mentoring program, she saw this book as a way to reach a wider audience and provide practical, real-world guidance to those navigating their careers and personal growth. This wasn't Perino's first foray into writing. In 2015, she released And the Good News Is Lessons and Advice from the Bright Side, a memoir that detailed her journey from growing up in Colorado to serving as White House press secretary. That book focused on optimism, resilience, and the lessons she learned while working in the highest levels of government. With Everything Will Be Okay, however, Perino wanted to take a more direct approach to mentoring, offering actionable advice for young women facing challenges in their careers and personal lives. Although the book is primarily geared toward women, Perino emphasized that the lessons it contains can benefit any young person striving for success. "I do have more to say and more advice to pass on to young women," she said, adding that she was thrilled by the book's positive reception. By turning her mentorship into a published resource, she has extended her reach far beyond what one-on-one mentoring could accomplish, ensuring that her insights and encouragement are accessible to a much broader audience. For more than 2 decades, Dana Perino has been happily married to Peter McMahon, a British businessman with a distinguished career in the medical industry. Their love story began in an unexpected but serendipitous way, on an airplane in 1997. As Perino revealed in a 2017 Facebook post, They were seated next to each other purely by chance, but what followed was nothing short of fate. 2 hours later, we were in love, she later told Forbes, playfully dubbing their instant connection love at first flight. She even referenced this phrase in her 2016 book, Let Me Tell You About Jasper, a memoir that also celebrated the couple's shared love for their beloved dog, Jasper. McMahon, who is 18 years older than Perino, had been married twice before and has 2 children from a previous marriage. While he and Perino never had children together, they built a strong, supportive partnership that withstood the demands of her high-profile career. During her years in the White House, McMahon took on the role of keeping their home life running smoothly, offering Perino unwavering encouragement and stability. Despite her intense workload, he always reinforced that following her ambitions was the right choice. However, McMahon is far from just a supportive spouse. He has an impressive career of his own. According to his LinkedIn profile, he has accumulated extensive leadership experience in the medical field and has served as the president of Greensleeve Surgical since 2016. His career has taken him around the world, and that global mindset has also played a role in their marriage. McMahon has often suggested relocating for Perino's career, never hesitating to prioritize her professional growth when opportunities arose. For Perino, love and ambition have never been mutually exclusive. In an interview with the Hudson Union Society, she reflected on the balance between personal and professional fulfillment, stating, "Choosing to be loved is not a career-limiting decision." Her marriage to McMahon is a testament to that belief, a partnership built on mutual respect, encouragement, and an unshakable bond that began with an unexpected airplane encounter. After meeting Peter McMahon on a flight in 1997 and falling in love almost instantly, Dana Perino made a bold decision. She moved to Britain to be with him. Leaving behind her career in Washington, D.C., she relocated across the Atlantic for 10 months, embracing both romance and adventure. The couple secretly wed while living in the UK, a choice that surprised even Perino's own family. As she later recalled to Deseret News, her parents didn't learn about the wedding until they visited weeks later, making the newlyweds' decision even more unconventional. Although her personal life was thriving, Perino faced a unique professional challenge during her time abroad. She wasn't able to work due to visa restrictions. For someone as career-driven as Perino, the idea of stepping away from her professional trajectory was daunting. I remember thinking, what are people going to think about me not working? What are people going to think about me stopping my career at this point? She told Business Insider. Having been on a clear upward path in political communications, the sudden pause made her question how this decision might impact her future. Rather than dwell on uncertainty, Perino made the most of her time in Britain. She dedicated herself to reading, volunteering, and staying informed about current events. As a self-proclaimed news junkie, she immersed herself in coverage of the Monica Lewinsky scandal and the subsequent impeachment trial of President Bill Clinton, which dominated headlines at the time. Her passion for news and politics never wavered, and even though she wasn't actively working, she continued sharpening her understanding of the field she loved. Dana Perino's love for dogs runs deep, tracing back to her childhood on her grandfather's ranch, where she was surrounded by hard-working ranch dogs. In addition, her family always had a pet dog at home, further cementing her lifelong affection for man's best friend. As she once admitted on Fox News The 5, "I know that I'm a dog bore, but I embrace it," fully owning her passion for her furry companions. This love for dogs eventually led Perino to write, "Let Me Tell You About Jasper." How My Best Friend Became America's Dog, a 2016 book dedicated to her beloved Vizsla Jasper. He became a cherished part of the Perino-McMahon household in 2012 and quickly captured not only Perino's heart, but also the hearts of many of her television viewers and fans. His charming personality, intelligence, and loyalty made him a standout, earning him the affectionate title of America's Dog. Perino's journey to writing a book about Jasper actually began when she was working on her first book, And the Good News Is, published in 2015. Initially, she wanted to include a chapter about her love for dogs, but her editor suggested cutting it, promising that she would one day have the chance to dedicate an entire book to the subject. That promise was fulfilled with Let Me Tell You About Jasper, which explored not only her bond with her own dog, but also the broader impact dogs have on people's lives. The book was released in 2016, a particularly contentious election year, and Perino saw it as an opportunity to bring people together. She believed that dogs could serve as a unifying force in a time of division. Dogs help us transcend politics, she explained, emphasizing how our shared love for family pets can bridge ideological gaps and create common ground. Through stories, humor, and heartfelt reflections, Let Me Tell You About Jasper wasn't just about one special dog. It was about the deep and enduring connection between humans and their canine companions. Dana Perino has lived in various places throughout her life, growing up in Wyoming and Colorado, spending nearly a year in Britain, and later residing in Washington, D.C. But since joining Fox News in 2009, she has called the East Coast home. While much of her time has been spent in New York City, she and her husband, Peter McMahon, have also cherished their second home in Bayhead, New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore. What started as a weekend retreat gradually became their primary residence, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic changed the way people worked and lived. When New York City went into lockdown in March 2020, Fox News gave its anchors the freedom to work remotely. Perino knew immediately that she wanted to be somewhere with more space and a stronger sense of community, which made Bayhead the perfect choice. "I have a great affection for this community," she told the Philadelphia Inquirer, explaining that the quiet coastal town reminded her of the rural areas where she grew up. While she and McMahon still adore New York City, Bayhead became their sanctuary. "This is the place we reconnect," she told the Asbury Park Press, highlighting the balance their Jersey Shore home provides. Perino has embraced the relaxed, small-town atmosphere of Bayhead, particularly enjoying walks by the water and visits to the dog park with her beloved Vizsla, Jasper. Sadly, Jasper passed away in September 2021, but their time in Bayhead together remains a cherished memory. The town's welcoming nature and scenic beauty have made it a true home for Perino, where she has found both personal and professional fulfillment. Even while working remotely during the pandemic, Perino stayed engaged with her surroundings. She dedicated time to volunteer work, supporting local businesses, and becoming an active part of the community. Whether on air at Fox News or off-duty enjoying life by the shore, Perino has found a place where she can thrive, one that reflects both her past and her future. Dana Perino has always been passionate about travel, and her career has taken her to some of the most fascinating places in the world. As a seasoned journalist and former White House press secretary, she has had the opportunity to explore a vast number of countries. In fact, during her final year serving in the Bush administration, she visited an astonishing 52 countries, a feat that not many can claim. According to Forbes, travel was one of the key reasons she decided to stay on President George W. Bush's team, despite the intense demands of the job. While traveling as press secretary, Perino kept a personal list of places she wanted to revisit, and one destination stood out: Africa. She developed a deep connection to the continent and felt compelled to return, not just as a tourist, but as someone eager to make a difference. Over the years, she has participated in volunteer efforts, including work related to the HIV/AIDS epidemic. Her experiences in Africa left a lasting impression, reinforcing her belief in the importance of global engagement and humanitarian work. Though her travels have taken her far and wide, Perino holds a special fondness for Spain. "I love the entire country, the food, people, history, culture, weather. "It is one of the most spectacular places to visit," she shared with Forbes. But she also finds beauty closer to home, expressing her admiration for South Carolina, a place she appreciates for its charm, natural beauty, and warm hospitality. Perino's love for travel is something she shares with her husband, Peter McMahon. Their honeymoon in Santorini, Greece, was just the beginning of their adventures together. Over the years, McMahon has accompanied her on many of her volunteer trips, making their travels not just about sightseeing, but about giving back. Whether jetting across the globe for work or leisure, Perino sees travel as a way to broaden her perspective, connect with people from different backgrounds, and make a positive impact wherever she goes. Dana Perino is a passionate reader who not only enjoys books herself, but also actively shares her love for literature with others. As a co-host on The Five, she frequently recommends books, and she has taken this passion a step further with her Fox Nation program, Dana Perino's Book Club, where she interviews authors about their works. Her enthusiasm for reading even extended to children's literature. At the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, she launched Storytime with Dana Perino, a short-lived but well-received segment in which she read children's books aloud. Whether highlighting thought-provoking novels or engaging with children's stories, Perino has made books a key part of her public and personal life. Her deep love for reading has roots in both enjoyment and strategy. While working at the White House, Perino sometimes felt self-conscious about her educational background. Many of her colleagues had Ivy League degrees, while she had attended Colorado State University Pueblo and the University of Illinois Springfield. Instead of allowing this insecurity to hold her back, she used reading to her advantage. "I ensured that I was always the most well-read person in the room," she told Deseret News, explaining that her vast knowledge gave her confidence and influence in high-stakes political settings. She described this intellectual preparation as something that gave her a measure of power in conversations and decision-making. Her dedication to reading has remained a constant in her life. In interviews, Perino has expressed how much she enjoys spending weekend afternoons with a book, allowing herself to escape into different worlds and expand her knowledge. "I love to learn new things, and I love to read," she told HolyCityCenter.com. That passion is evident in her personal reading habits. Her Twitter feed often reveals that she can finish a book in just a day or two. Whether for professional growth, personal enrichment, or sharing recommendations with her audience, Perino's commitment to reading continues to shape her life and career. After leaving the White House, Dana Perino found herself in a period of uncertainty regarding her next career move. While she had built a strong reputation as a skilled communicator and political strategist, she wasn't immediately sure how she wanted to channel those skills in her post-government life. However, one thing was clear: she didn't want to step away from the national conversation. "I knew I wanted to continue to have a voice in the debate," she told Cosmopolitan. That opportunity came thanks to Fox News anchor Sean Hannity. While in Washington, D.C., Perino had a conversation with Hannity that changed the course of her career. Recognizing her unique blend of media savvy and political expertise, Hannity suggested that Fox News hire her, Business Insider reported. However, the network's executives initially hesitated, pointing out that they already had a prominent Bush Republican in Karl Rove. But Hannity saw something different in Perino and fought for her, arguing, "No, she's different. Let me give it a shot." His persistence paid off. After making several guest appearances on his show, Perino was offered a permanent position as a Fox News contributor in 2009. Perino quickly became a trusted voice on the network, and her role continued to expand. In 2011, when Glenn Beck departed from Fox News, the network needed a temporary replacement for his time slot. They launched The Five, a roundtable-style political talk show, as a short-term solution. However, the program was an immediate hit with viewers, leading to its permanent place in the Fox News lineup. Perino, who had been one of the original co-hosts, remained a fixture on the show, offering her balanced political insights and sharp media analysis. Beyond the five, Perino expanded her presence at the network, hosting her own programs. She anchored the Daily Briefing with Dana Perino, which provided breaking news coverage and political analysis. Later, she took on a co-anchoring role on America's Newsroom alongside Bill Hemmer, where she continues to provide viewers with in-depth discussions on national and international news. Reflecting on her career trajectory, Perino told Business Insider, "What's interesting is, if you look at all the things that I've done, what I do today on a daily basis is the culmination of everything I've ever wanted to do. From government communications to media analysis and political commentary, Perino has successfully built a career that blends all of her passions. Dana Perino has always been financially savvy, making strategic career moves to ensure she was fairly compensated for her work. From an early stage in her career, she understood the importance of advocating for herself. Per Business Insider, she once discovered that a male colleague in a similar role was earning $5,000 more than she was. Rather than accepting the pay gap, Perino approached her boss and negotiated a raise, successfully securing the salary she deserved. This early experience set the tone for her professional journey, where she continuously sought opportunities that aligned with both her passions and financial goals. After finishing graduate school, Perino was clear-eyed about the reality of needing a stable income. "I needed to get a job and make money," she told Business Insider, which influenced her decisions to switch fields when necessary and decline jobs that didn't offer sufficient pay. Over the years, her hard work and strategic thinking have paid off. Between her successful television career, best-selling books, and speaking engagements, Perino has built an impressive financial portfolio. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Perino has amassed an estimated fortune of $6 million. While this amount is $7 million less than that of her The Five co-host Greg Gutfeld, she surpasses Jesse Waters by $1 million and Juan Williams by $4 million. Her success story is a testament to her resilience and determination. From making history as the first Republican woman to serve as White House press secretary to becoming one of the most recognized faces on Fox News, Perino has not only broken barriers in her field, but also ensured she was compensated accordingly. What do you think about these little-known things about Dana Perino? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.